Jesse Stevens here with Lands Underground Solutions, coming to you with another episode of this old sewer line. So today we're here in Champaign, Illinois. We've got a customer that has a second-story bathroom, and their tub and toilet line were leaking. The lead pipe to cast iron connection was all corroded out, and they didn't want to do a full remodel, rip up floors, walls, everything to replace that. So they called us and asked us if we could help out. So we've looked at it and checked it out, and our game plans, we're going to put in a liner patch on the second floor toilet line, and then we're going to drill out the tub line and reinstate it, it's called. And then we're going to epoxy coat that connection to make sure everything's watertight and sealed. So let's go upstairs and see what's going on. All right, so we're upstairs in the second floor bathroom. We pulled the toilet, we've dried the line, we've cleaned the line. We like to do a little sanding and brush out on this before we do a patch kit. We want to just make sure it's clean and it's ready to go. Now, what we do is we like to take some paper, put that down for safety, things like that. You know, we don't want to spill or make any mess. So what we're going to do first on this line is we're going to do a patch kit. Now, when we do our patch kit, we like to use a liner that's flexible so it can make the 90s and turn down the stack. So we're using, as you can see, this is kind of a felty cloth material. So what we'll do on the patch is we'll turn it inside out, we'll put it on a balloon, and we'll mix epoxy in it, put it in the line, we'll camera check to make sure it's where we want it, inflate it, seals in about 2 hours, it turns rock hard. We will then reinstate the tub line, so we'll drill the tub line out, and then we will use a epoxy. We have a special plumbing epoxy that we use inside of pipes, and we'll use that to go ahead and coat everything. We'll go ahead, even though we've lined the toilet line, since we're going to coat the tub, we'll go ahead and put a coating over this toilet line as well, and then it'll stop the leak. So they won't have any leaking downstairs in the kitchen or anything, or down to the basement. None of this has to be touched. And in this job, the guys will have it done in 1 8-hour day. So we'll take you out to the trailer and we'll show you how we build the actual patch kits. All right, so now we're in our Lands lining trailer. So this is our custom-made trailer. We built this in-house. We bought the trailer and then built it out. It has everything we need to do patch kits, lining, all sorts of different things. So we've got a cooler. It keeps our epoxy cool. We've got lots of toolboxes and cabinets and everything for what we need to do. So, but today we're going to stay focused on our patch kit for our second-story bathroom, okay? So we showed you the pipe, so it's a toilet. Now this patch is actually going to get cut down, but this is our 3 to 4 inch packer, we call it. So it's a giant, this thing can bend, it can do all sorts of stuff. So we can go through traps, we can do whatever. We have one that fits 2 to 3 inch pipe. This one's for 3 to 4, and then we have one that'll go from 4 inch to 6 inch. And they all will do 90s and turns and all sorts of neat things. So what we've got is we've got our piece of liner is on there inside out. So the inside's smooth, the outside is the cloth material, fiberglass and stuff. So what we'll do is we buy everything in bulk, so we just make our own kits, we make our own stuff up. So we've got a part A and part B epoxy. We'll mix them together. We'll put plastic down, obviously, mix them together, pour it on there, and we wet out this patch kit, and then we'll stick it in the pipe and we'll air it up. So what I'll do for you is give you a little bit of example. So this is what we love about our packers that we use here at Lands, is they're bendy. They'll do anything we need. So sometimes what we'll do is use a piece of rope and we'll pull them into place, or if it's a close connection, we use push rods. So we can push almost 100 feet with these green rods. We'll clip them all together. They have thread locker fittings. We'll push them all together, put that patch where it needs to go. But, so this is kind of an example of what we're going to be doing in that bathroom upstairs. It's a 90 and it goes over to the stack. So what we'll do is we'll give you a little demonstration and we'll air this up just a little bit. So if you notice, this would be a hole in the pipe. So what we'll do on this is this is going to just slowly air up. Now keep in mind, when we're upstairs, it's going to be covered with epoxy. So it'll seal that gentleman on the upstairs. He has a hole in his pipe that's leaking out sewage and water in his house. So when we air up our packer, it's going to air up and it's going to force that patch against the pipe. And there it starts to go. So you can see right there, it would seal off that hole in the pipe. And it will make this a perfect round, and you can see it starting to push out this end. And once we get it to the correct PSI that we use, we will let this sit for about 2 hours, and then we can just take and deflate the packer, and the patch will stay glued to the pipe. We'll pull out our packer, and we're done. So we'll go upstairs, we'll get that done, and we'll show you the finished product here in about a couple hours. All right. All right, so now the patch kit's done, it's cured out and it's time, and so now we can take a look at this toilet line before we epoxy it. So we use a special camera that we can get down in there, and we can see the connection off to the side, but now you can look at that liner as we go down in, and it's all lined to the stack. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put a coat of epoxy on this tub line, and then we'll coat this just to make sure everything's 100% sealed, and we'll be good. Can you drill sideways to get by? No, the other way. Yep. All right, so we've now got our first coating of a 2-part epoxy on the tub line and the toilet line. It's all completed. Zach got that on there. Zach, how'd it go for you?
It was smooth. It was smooth, real quick and easy.
All right, that's what we like to hear. So if you take a look at that, it's white, and that's the first layer of 2. Sometimes we'll do 2 layers, sometimes we do 3. It just depends on what the application is. I think with a liner patch in there and then adding the epoxy, that's going to seal it up quite a bit. Then what we're going to do is we put just a little 1500 watt heater. It has a special hose, and we'll blow it in there, and that'll fast cure it for 3 hours to kind of get it cooked out quick, so that we'll be ready to add a second coat here in about 3 hours. Then we'll dry that. When that's done, we're ready to put the toilet on, and we're done. And this homeowner is back in action in 1 day. So we will talk to the homeowner a bit, get their thoughts on it, and we'll see you on our next episode of this old sewer.
State-of-the-art, high-tech plumbing is fantastic, but the real bonus here is the staff. They're courteous, considerate. They try to stay out of your way and make it look like they're not even there.